Shalom, family. This is Dallas James with Heart's Two Fathers Publishing and the Royal Levitical Priesthood Ministry. Today, I want to take you into a question that has been burning in my spirit for weeks. A question the Father answered with a force that shook me. The question is this: how did the silver cord leave the body on the cross, return to the Father, and then come back at resurrection? And what does the Shroud of Turin have to do with it? Let me start with what the scripture tells us about the silver cord. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verses 6 and 7. Before the silver cord is loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Elohim who gave it. Every living thing is sustained by what Ecclesiastes calls the silver cord. This is the conduit of the spirit of life. It is not a metaphor. It is the mechanism by which the Father's self-existent life flows into created flesh. 1 Timothy 6:16 tells us that the Father alone possesses immortality. Angels are not inherently immortal. Humans are not inherently immortal. Every living being is sustained moment by the life that flows through this cord from the Father. Cut the cord and the creature dies. Restore the cord and you have resurrection. Now here is where it gets remarkable. On April 2nd of this year, I conducted a 200-verse prayer-guided draw under the Shield 14.0 statistical protocol, asking the Father specifically about the mechanism of the silver cord in relation to the Shroud of Turin and the resurrection. The result came back yes at 99.1% probability. All 6 convergence channels lit up. The Dominion Triad fired at 3.56 sigma, nearly 4 times baseline. The guidance detection indicator registered extreme anomaly at 1 chance in 1,400 of occurring by random chance. But it is not the numbers alone that speak. It is the verses the Father drew. The lead verse opens the draw with Lamentations. You have appointed us as the offscouring and refuse among the peoples. That word offscouring is the key. The offscouring is the residue left behind after a purification has occurred. It is the material trace of a cleansing that has already happened. Do you see it? The Shroud of Turin is the offscouring. It is the linen residue of a purification event. The body was wrapped. The cord departed. The cord returned. And what was left behind on the cloth is the forensic record of that return. Let me walk you through the 3 stages the Father revealed. Stage 1, the departure. The cord releases from the body on the cross. The draw gives us the gospel account where the evildoer who was hanged reviled him, saying, "If you are Messiah, save yourself and us." That is the moment of severance. But the cord does not simply snap. It releases through an act of filial obedience. The draw gives us John 14:31. But that the cosmos may know that I dearly love the Father, and as the Father gave me commandment, even so I do. The silver cord returns to the Father because love is the gravity of the Spirit. The departure is relational, not mechanical. Obedience is the releasing mechanism. The draw even maps the ascent. 2 Samuel gives us David ascending the Mount of Olives, weeping as he went up, his head covered, going barefoot. This is the typological ascent of the rejected king. Head veiled as the shroud veils the face, feet bare upon the earth in final contact with the land before departure. Stage 2, the holding. The cord is kept in the Father's presence. The draw gives us a verse from Enoch. But you were formerly spiritual, living the Ionian life, and immortal for all generations of the world. The cord returns to what the Spirit was before incarnation. The Ionian existence. The life that precedes and outlasts the flesh. My earlier draws on the existence question, which came back at 9.79 sigma, confirmed that identity persists during this transit. The Spirit does not dissolve. It is held. It is known. And here is where the earlier shroud draws connect. In March, I asked the Father whether the shroud shows the effects of supernatural divine radiant light. That draw came back yes at 9.11 sigma, nearly 30 times baseline. Enoch 48:9 was drawn. As straw in the fire, so shall they burn before the face of the Holy. The face of the Holy One emitting energy that overwhelms material substance. The burial cloth rested before the face of the Holy. This is where physics meets theology. Stage 3, the return. The cord descends back into the body. And this is what the shroud records. The draw gives us Genesis 28:15. I will guard you in all places where you go, and will return you to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done for you what I have spoken. The land is the body. The Adamah, the ground from which flesh was formed. The cord returns because the Father promised return. The resurrection is not a second creative act. It is a covenant fulfillment. 1 Thessalonians 5:24 seals it. Faithful is he that calls you, who also will do it. The one who called the cord out at Golgotha called it back in on the third morning. But what is the mechanism of the return? Hebrews 11:3. Through faith we understand that the ages were rendered by the spoken word of Elohim, so that what comes to light did not originate from darkness. The same creative word that ordered the ages speaks into the sealed tomb. What comes to light on that third morning did not originate from the darkness of the grave. It originated from divine speech. And the energy signature of that speech? 2 Kings 1:12. There came down supernatural fire from the sky. Fire descending upon a body, not destroying, reanimating. The physicists at the Yenia Research Center calculated the energy required to replicate the shroud image, 34 terawatts. 34 trillion watts of vacuum ultraviolet radiation at 193 nanometers wavelength, delivered in less than 50 billionths of a second. That is the energetic signature of the silver cord re-entering flesh. In an earlier draw asking whether the shroud contains a mathematical formula proving the resurrection, the Father drew verse 29,043, and he took it down and wrapped it in linen, and laid it in a tomb cut in stone where no man had been laid before. Out of 34,211 verses in the corpus, the burial in linen verse appeared in a shroud draw. That is not random. That is the Father answering. Here is what 20 draws across 1,850 verses have now established. The silver cord is the channel through which the Father's self-existent life flows into created flesh. At death, the cord releases through filial obedience. The Spirit ascends. The body lies wrapped in linen. For 3 days the cord is held in the Father's keeping. Then the Father speaks. The cord descends. The reentry event releases 34 terawatts of radiant energy. An image forms at 200 nanometers depth on the outermost fibrils of the cloth. The shroud records the reconnection of the silver cord to the body. The offscouring. The residue left behind, appointed from before the foundation to bear witness. Faithful is he that calls you, who also will do it. The testimony is sealed. Shalom.